Hey, what's up everybody? It's your boy Proftrof. Y'all might have seen the title, we're back again with another Pyrocynical video. Okay, so seems like there's some shit happening with Pyrocynical, like some controversy. Ooh, online controversy. So I guess I don't know. Okay. I gotta be honest, I don't know fucking shit about this controversy shit. I don't know anything about this situation, but this is his response. So I guess we'll be a detective. We'll pierce. We'll pe- We'll make the puzzle go whole. Okay. Fucking English. Anyway, let's get to this. Let's see what my boy has done. Let's see what he has done.
I'm going to use this video to address the allegations made against me.
Cute haircut though. Kind of reminds me of Judy from Cyberpunk. Yeah.
Recently, to those who aren't aware, I've been accused of grooming a 15-year-old boy when I was 9.
Oh, so so this is actually pretty it is pretty pretty substantial, huh? Okay, Ivory Rasmus. Pyrocynical groomed me. I have screenshots to prove it. Okay, so I am not too well versed in the Western philosophy. Okay, so grooming I think is when you take a child, you know, a small child, maybe not that small, someone that's not an adult, and you groom them so you can make them do stuff that a normal human being would find, not cool, like fucking them, but you're not actually having sex with them because they want to. You're just making them. Okay, y'all know what I mean. Okay, I've been sitting thinking about this shit nonstop. I'm being angry, confused, and sad that I've had to accept this since you were 15, but I never said anything because I felt powerless. Okay, so this is gonna be a lot of me talking because it is that type of video. Okay, now I want to say something. You're a kid, okay? When you're a kid, you're a kid. Makes sense, right? When you're a fucking 15-year-old, you've gone through shit. You're pretty close to being an adult, okay? So I'm finding it very hard for someone to groom someone when they're a 15-year-old, okay? So maybe you weren't groomed because you're okay. Maybe you're just
that I'm some kind of predator and was aware of his age all along. This is categorically.
Another thing I want to say is my boy does not look like someone that can intimidate anyone to do anything. I'm saying this in a very kind way. He's he. Okay, so
untrue and a complete
lie.
What
I mean, okay.
The supposed proof for these insane allegations is paper thin and embarrassingly wrong. I originally made a response on my subreddit, and I truly believe the evidence I provided was enough. I
just wanted to see.
Wrong. I originally made a response on my
addressing the false allegations. I don't know what these
subreddit,
okay, whatever.
And I truly believe the evidence I provided was enough. And for a time it was. But a few days ago, a poorly written Google Doc has surfaced claiming that I have lied in my response and I'm 100% guilty. I just want to be clear, I have never lied at any point. This document is disingenuous, manipulative, and it fails to include so much of my original statement, bringing new information to light.
Are we sure this is Pyrocynical? He's not making any weird noises, any weird catchphrases, not saying any. Okay, I realize this is gonna be a very serious video, so I'll stop fooling around too much.
So making points to prove my guilt that I already proven to be untrue in my first statement. It's managed to fool so many people. Like, I see video after video.
Okay, another thing I want to say is when you get to these kind of serious allegations, a child accusing someone of them grooming them, listen, you don't do this by going to the internet being like, oh, he groomed me, save me. You go to the fucking police, you little fucking slut. You slut child. Okay, when you go to the internet, it makes it seem like you're trying to leech off him. Okay, that's what it seems like to me. A person that's outside looking in. I know that there's a lot of idiots nowadays, a lot of sheep that will look at this and be like, oh my god, he groomed a 15-year-old? Neck him. Now, I don't care if there is no proof. I want him gone, disappear, dead. I want his skin to be made a potato.
Of people now saying that I'm a liar.
I've had too much coffee,
mate. That Pyro could have actually been lying.
What the Turkey Tom? He's a furry, robotic furry. Oh no, the internet. Oh, yeah, okay, okay. I see why this became such a huge
His
thing.
response here.
They already kind of have this notion that he did it, and he's not responding, so it looks pretty guilty on his part
Does
to a
he?
lot of people too.
Now this is the main
So
part.
if I make a video saying that you touched me as a child and you do not respond in a week, does that mean you're guilty as well? What are these? Who are these intelligent online individuals?
Part of the Google Doc that really set me off. I believe this piece of evidence is enough to say Pyro is in the wrong.
Ah, so you believe a piece of evidence uploaded online by someone, evidence that has not been checked by lawyers, by anyone, could be true? This dude seems very intelligent. Like, no one can fucking make up anything online or edit that shit. It must be true.
Whether Pyro does respond to everything, or just pulls a mini-lad and ignores it for as long as he can, is still up in the air.
This document makes
Ayer.
insane assumptions based
Ayer.
on limited and broken evidence. It's not hard to dismantle it. It's just annoying that I have to be the one to do it. For those who
True.
haven't read the entirety of my original response,
Nope.
let me give a little background.
Okay.
When I was 19 and 20, I like to take
How old is he now? I think he's in his 30s, right? Or early 30s, maybe 28, 29. So this was a while ago. This dude's old as fuck, the 15-year-old now, right?
part in this degenerate furry roleplay with pretty much anyone that would 19 and 20. I like to take part in this degenerate furry roleplay with pretty much anyone that would reciprocate. And looking back on it now, the word cringe, that doesn't near do enough justice to how sad this all was. These conversations never led to any nudes being exchanged. It was just purely fantasy garbage, something which Ivory himself confirms.
Did he ever ask you for nudes?
Wait, who this? Okay, I don't know this guy. Okay, I don't know this guy. I just want to warn you. If you're fans of him, do not be angry at me, but your boy kind of looks like a peeled potato with hair on it. I'm not...
No.
No.
Don't mom. You're accusing someone of fucking you as a child. Don't be fucking answering like a little bitch. Say no, yes. God, this annoyed me.
People look like, their gender, these weren't variables. Like I could have been doing this with a 90-year-old cave troll and it wouldn't have made
True.
a difference.
True.
It was roleplay after all. You're just pretending. Now it turns out my accuser, Ivory, one of the people that I've had these conversations with, was 15. That is 3 to 4 years younger than I was. It was entirely my responsibility to verify his age before having these conversations. And the fact that I...
No, it's not. Come on, don't be saying shit. Listen, if you're online, you're in these forums where you just post some random shit, just fucking some foul shit, you're not responsible for anything. It's some dumb online shit. Come on. But I realize he's saying this to make himself... He's like saying this as a protection. Listen, but that's bullshit. You're not responsible for anyone's actions but your own. And online actions, considering that's in a forum where you are just you know, it's bullshit.
I didn't. That is
It's no big deal.
so incredibly negligent of me to do so.
come
I may
on.
have been young myself,
on.
but still old enough to
Come
know better.
on.
But let me be very
Okay.
clear. I had absolutely no idea that he was 15.
Doesn't
I
fucking
absolutely
matter.
did not lie in my original Reddit post, and I would like to emphasize that. Ivory himself did not lie in my...
He was 15 at the time they exchanged comments. He didn't include his age in his bio until he was 16, but I was on Twitter between 3rd December 2016. So this happened 4 years ago. So why did he wait while he was 21 to go to this? Probably because he knows that Pyrocynical now has a lot of viewers. I mean, the dude has 4 million subscribers. He just wants to leech off him. It's pretty fucking obvious. What's up with all the fucking YouTubers trying to bash my boy then? Trying to get that easy hype? Fucking assholes.
my original Reddit post, and I would like to emphasize that Ivory himself did not disclose to me directly that he was 15, and the evidence itself supports this too. Up until September this year, I'd be perfectly cool with him. We were still speaking and still on very good terms.
Hey yo, how you doing, Chief? Good man, how about yourself? I'm chilling. Weed moments. It's about to be weed moments at all. Have you played Bloodborne? Nah, I really want to though. That's good. It's been obsessed with that shit recent, not gonna lie. So this is the child. Okay, yeah, he's definitely
However,
wanting some
for
shit.
one reason or another, he felt the need to come out about these allegations. To expose that I'm a sexual predator, I took advantage of him, and I knew his age all along. This is all untrue, and I am amazed how out of proportion this is all blown up. Several of our conversations...
Listen, you're not a predator unless you decide to meet the person and have sex with them. Understand? If you say that I want to fuck your brains out to a person in an online lobby, it's not sexual. Yes, you might get some sexual arousal from that, but I just want to break the thing. Internet does not matter. Your actions there are meh. That could have been anyone. I could just change my IP address and bam, I don't know they exist. That's some bullshit right there.
Were
Just
leaked
fucking
online
annoying
by
the shit out of me.
Ivory. Here's one of the more
People are such pussies nowadays.
damning ones.
I'd love for my Sona to be licking at his fat, sweaty ass while rubbing his belly from behind and then just having him gas all over my Sona's face. That'd be so nice. Or if mine was just underneath him, getting railed underneath his huge belly, and your Sona could be gassing non-stop.
Who's
as
reading
he
this?
fucks mine like... Huh? Well, to be honest, I'd pick you up, hug you while... Well, to be honest, I'd pick you up, hug you while rubbing you against my huge, sweaty moobs, then kiss your cheeks, telling you how much I loved you, and then kiss you on the lips and let out a hard, long belch into your mouth.
Okay, let's not talk about the, y'all are some fucking degenerates. Like, I thought this was gonna be like normal sexual role playing, I wanna pile drive you until your brain doesn't know where you are and shit like that. What the fuck is it? Belch in your mouth? Fart in your face? Okay.
Come on.
Literally DeviantArt here. My god. He's provided a lot of proof like this to show how much of a degenerate
What is this proof of? Yes, this is proof of y'all being degenerates. Nothing more.
I was, and I mean, I agree, you got me. Now, the whole world pretty much knows what I jerk off to, but what he and no one else has done...
Listen, another thing. There's gonna be a lot of pausing, I told you, so I don't give a fuck. A lot of people jerk out some weird shit. They just don't wanna... They wanna be judged, so they pretend like they jerk off to the most normal shit, and when someone says that they've jerked out some weird shit, they go like, oh my god, look at this person. They start blaming him and playing. Listen, a lot of the people that are blaming him probably jerk out some even weirder shit. Well, actually, it's kind of hard to get weirder than this, but they probably jerk out some weird shit. They're just bitches. They want to blame people instead of looking at themselves when they do this shit. It's normal human behavior.
...is come close to
Unfortunately.
substantiating how this constitutes as grooming. Ivory himself even struggles to explain how what I did
You're definitely he's definitely grooming himself to be a degenerate.
was
I don't know
grooming.
about anything else but that.
How were you groomed?
I
Because
I want to slap the shit out of this fucking kid. He's not a kid anymore, but the way he talks makes me want to slap him.
you don't need to be groomed for this to be wrong. I mean, is it really fair that you use the word grooming? And if that's true, if you feel that's true, where was
That weed must have dissolved half of his brain. Look at him. He became an actual vegetable. Wow. Maybe he chilled with the weed. I know weed doesn't do this shit usually, but maybe his brain is prone to.
this going?
Use words, human being.
See, I'm not like, I don't know. I was in a call with my friend when I like typed it out, and I typed like, I remember I typed that and asked like, is that okay?
Because it reads
Yeah,
more
that's
like a
the word I
YouTube
used.
like thumbnail. Do you honestly believe? Did you not understand the definition of the word?
I feel like it was like forcing or like manipulating a child into a like sexual situation.
Okay.
Yeah,
Alright.
that's what
How?
that word means to me.
To disprove
Grooming.
this, I'd
That-
actually have to
That might be what the word means. That's not what happened.
see something to disprove, but there's literally nothing. It's
Exactly,
a blanket
what
statement
the
of
fuck?
Pyrocynical groomed me. The only thing I can possibly think of is inviting him and a bunch
Him talking about fake ID in regards to doorman outside bars. He was 16 at the time. Oop, do you think I could come earlier than that? All of the flat price increased by $200 before the 15 year. I don't know. Except for sneaking or making fake ID, because I think I kind of look at that age. Ooh, he used ooh in the actual comment. Yikes. Ah, damn, Daniel, that sucks. I just realized I didn't have a passport, so it's genuinely impossible from what I know.
of other people to an event in the UK.
understand.
And somehow this got spun as me buying him a plane ticket to fly him out to have sex with him.
Even if he lied, which can't be proven, a 20-year-old guy flying a 16-year-old boy out to fuck him in England. I don't care what...
Where did you see that, you little druggie? He looks like he hasn't slept in 12 days. Jesus Christ, my guy. I hate how people get this fucking, what's the word when you morally high ground? They get this moral high ground, like they see like a snippet of something, and they don't ask the questions. Okay, is this real? Is there more to this? Should I probably check more of this out to make sure that it is what happened? Nah, he just gets this moral high ground and starts throwing shit out at my boy Pyrocynical. That's he envisions him as lower on this. These types of people, Jesus Christ, y'all are.
The lies. Most people find that disgusting. That's why Pyro's losing.
Sive, PewDiePie's editor, is one of the many people I invited to this event.
PewDiePie's
and he agrees
editor.
the claim is just complete bullshit.
I never thought in my life I'd have to ever justify something like this, but I do remember back in 2017, Niall invited me and a bunch of other people to drink with him. And I remember telling Niall very last minute that I couldn't come, so I pretty much flaked on him. To say something sexual was going to happen in a very public event with a load of people, even people Niall didn't even know and wasn't really close with, it's just false. Seriously. There's just no question about that.
I really don't understand how you can reach the conclusion that I invited him just to have sex with him. I invited him casually. No plane ticket was purchased. No specific handmade invite was sent. It was flippant, nonchalant, and that exact same invite...
What Pyrocynical I think is saying here is that no kissing while belching in each other's mouth was gonna happen there.
It was copied and pasted word for word to dozens of people. Ivory himself even said he did not get any sexual tones from this.
When he invited you, was there any kind of indication that it was sort of a date in any way? That there would be a wink-wink, date-like sexual interaction? Did he give you that idea at all?
He didn't, like, if he was...
Yes, words, use them, cunt.
I mean, yeah, we shared some
Jesus.
Fat Furry art. We had some weird fantasy roleplay. But there was no sexual interest. There were no nudes exchanged. His name, his appearance, it wasn't important to me.
Oh yeah, this makes me a little bit concerned about my boy Pyrocynical. Listen, bro, you cannot be inviting people that you don't know anything about to these events. You might invite some weird people like this fucking degenerate kid. Be a little bit more careful, buddy. Come on.
I didn't even know what he looked like
Goddamn.
at this point. I mean, if he linked me a
It's
picture
kind
or
of
something,
scary.
I would have forgotten it because it was just that irrelevant to me. But I'm going to jump right ahead anyway and invite him to come over just for sex. Okay, now this document, it tries really, really hard to prove that I knew Ivory's age, despite the fact that they have nothing concrete. Pyrocynical never saw any of the tweets of Ivory explicitly saying that he was 15 years old on an account Pyrocynical follow and interacted with regularly. They then provide a list of Ivory stating his age multiple times on Twitter. So if I'm so...
I mean, technically I'm following Pyrocynical because I'm subscribed to his channel, right? And I check out some of his videos. That does not mean I know his age, right? Do I know how old he is? Fuck no. I can kind of make a fucking, what is it? I can kind of predict his age now from the things he says he's around late 20s, but I don't know his actual
sure that
age.
I didn't know he was 15. How would I have missed this? This is something I said in my original Reddit statement. He never once disclosed the fact that he was 15 at the time these exchanges commenced. He didn't include his age in his bio until he was 16, but I was not on Twitter between the 28th of December 2016 until the 29th of June 2017, as I was suspended. It would have been a hell of a lot
Why
less
was he
likely
suspended on
for me
Twitter?
to see all but one of these tweets
Oh,
that's been used as evidence in this Google Doc. My Reddit post
What's that?
all
I want to read those.
17,
I don't
as
really
was
want to read them, but I
suspended.
kind of
It
need
would
to.
have been a hell of a lot less likely for
I'm 15 years old, shut-in, who checks his phone a lot, but I hate how little kids bring a desk worth of tech everywhere if possible. Degenerate. I posted a screenshot, but for future reference, I'm currently 15 with my buddy on April 21st. Why you... I'd be talking to myself because I'm 15. Oh, I'm 15, so I've never been to Forever 21 on a trash joke. I'm sorry, good stories though. What's wrong with this kid? God
for me
damn
to
it,
see
kid.
all but one of these
Or he's not a kid
tweets
anymore,
that's been
but
used as evidence
got
in this
problems.
Google Doc. My Reddit post clearly shows that I was suspended from Twitter at the time that they were made. And that, of course, leaves the very last one. But, like, what are the chances of you catching one specific tweet when you follow hundreds of people? I brought this up in my Reddit post as well, but it's been deliberately left out as some, like, shit attempt at manipulation. I find it funny, like, they're acting like I'm hiding something, when, ironically, that's exactly what they're doing here. Literally, all they needed to do was read my Reddit post. It's not even that long, man, to pay.
They probably saw the title, Pyrocynical touches young boy. He grooms him. They're like, oh shit, here comes the publicity.
The next 2
People
points
love
that Doc
attacking
makes
people for
are
zero
so
reason.
interchangeable. I'm just going to tackle both at once.
Okay.
Pyrocynical never saw the initial DM from Ivory saying he was a...
Okay, listen. Let's talk about this first. With all the things that are presented to us, doesn't matter his age. Pyrocynical knows he's 15, 16 when he invited him to that fucking thing in England. That's a little fucky, inviting a 16-year-old when you're like 20-something to a bar. But even if he does, like, does it matter? Yeah, it's a little fucky, but it's a little suspect, but not that much. Mostly because he said he invited other people that he doesn't know names and shit like that for. So it's mostly a mistake of... I don't know how you call it. Like, he didn't mean for that to happen.
Pyrocynical never saw the DM where Ivory sent him his Twitter profile, clearly stating his age. The next part really confuses me, because now the claim is, because he linked his Twitter, which had his age in his bio, I now retroactively know that when this message or that message was sent, I knew he was 15. What? When Ivory linked me his Twitter profile, the age in bio says 16. This is something I acknowledged in my Reddit post, but to be fair, I probably didn't elaborate enough on it. In retrospect, I never should have continued the furry stuff with him once I learnt of his age, even though at the time...
No. In retrospect, you should not have started the first
I didn't
stuff.
see it as a problem.
Okay.
Legally, age of consent is 16 in both my country and his state.
So it's not even a fucking problem, you little shits. Fuck y'all making a big deal out of this. He's legal. According to the law, he's legal. It doesn't matter if your morals think it's wrong. It's legal.
Didn't consider the age gap significant enough because
Case
what
closed.
we were talking about and doing was so far removed from actual sex. It literally was just fantasy furry garbage because I didn't consider Ivory sexual in any way in person. I never had a plan to progress our friendship into something more, and I never considered it an issue. I understand though that, you know, this is going to be one of those weird grey areas where people are going to agree or disagree. I think it's a combination.
No, this is not a gray area. Since he's legal, it doesn't matter what people think, because he's legal. It doesn't matter. It literally does not matter if I agree or disagree now, because the law says it's okay.
Of all of these variables coming together, which led me to believe at the time there was nothing wrong from a moral standpoint. As for the other message, I don't remember seeing this message.
Not only am
I'm not sure why
minor.
it's being used as proof that I knew he was
Okay,
15.
let's see this. Oh my god, John said he role played with me to like 3 people when we just did the thing you do and I do. Let's talk about art, kind of. What? Okay, I'm not reading the rest of that shit. I'm
Because if you
cringing.
compare the dates, this message was sent 2 months after he sent me his link with his age in bio. The last 2 points for this segment, I want to tackle both at once here as well. Pyrocynical, who at the time was expressing interest in Ivory and being in a relationship with him at the time, which was corroborated by Pyrocynical's at the time soon-to-be girlfriend, still never knew Ivory's age.
Wait, what? Okay, Pyrocynical, who at that time was expressing interest in Ivory and being in a relationship with him at the time, expressing interest in him and being in a relationship with him at the time. Doesn't make sense, but whatever. Which was corroborated by his girlfriend, soon-to-be girlfriend. So she knew that he was in a relationship.
An age with Ida clearly acknowledged,
My
and
brain's
an
starting
age
to hurt.
which she thought would not dissuade
My
him
brain's
from being in a
hurting.
relationship with Ivory. Somehow, Ivory never mentioned his age, and no one else mentioned his age in the presence of Pyrocynical outside of all these clear instances, even once. So here they're trying to make it seem impossible I wouldn't have known his age,
Nah, here they make it seem that they know less English than I do.
or had to do some kind of
Okay,
like
my English is decent, I
insane
guess,
mental
but
gymnastics
you know what
to
I
never
mean.
find out. But if you look at the DMs Ivory provided himself for this document, you can see that he's confiding with Ida about age being a problem. Keep in mind as well, I was not in a relationship with Ida until about mid-2019. This document claims it as soon to be, but like, it's a whole 2 years before we actually start dating, and 2 whole years before this conversation took place. I mean, we both talked before, but we weren't close. She had no reason to confide with me with someone else's private information. So back when Ivory opened up to Ida about something private, there is no guarantee that she would have came and told me, despite the fact that this document and videos based off this document claim it as concrete, irrefutable proof.
This right here tells me that the conversation is real, thus proving that Pyro...
What do you mean, you dumb motherfucker? What do you mean this here?
Irrefutable proof.
This right here tells
me
me
that the conversation is real, thus proving that Pyro did know of Ida's age. But
I see. This right here tells you.
The conversation was between Ida and Ivory, so, you know, Ida may have not told Pyro.
Yeah, that claim's flat out retarded. I mean, at this point, you're implying that Ida has some sort of secret vendetta to take down Pyro and purposely...
Yes, that seems like either that or he wants money out of him as a bribe to let him go. That's exactly what it seems like. What the fuck do you mean, dummy?
Fully withdrew this information in order to bring him down. Kinda fucking ridiculous, don't you think?
Why would Ida think to tell me about a random conversation that she had with someone over 2 years ago? The messages from Ivory regarding a relationship were completely one-sided. If it helps for context, because we're being so open here, I'm straight, IRL, like, I have no interest in guys. IRL. This is just purely, like, a weird fantasy, and it does not carry over.
Listen. No one needs to explain their kinks or, what they find arousing to themselves to other people. You don't need to do that shit. No one can make you explain this shit to them and try and convince them. Listen, people are attracted to weird shit. That's normal. Yes, it has the word weird in it, but everyone has jerked off or swiped their pussy to some weird shit. That's a fact. If you're saying you're not, fuck it, go join a church or some shit, you little weirdo. You're the weird one for not doing it, okay? It's just that people like to hide because they're scared of how they'll be perceived by the public. I'm actually kind of, I don't know how to say this. I feel like Pyrocynical has like some huge ass balls for coming out with all these weird shit he's attracted to.
Into the
this
real
takes a
world
kind of
whatsoever. But
strong
one thing there
mentality
is
to be
no
able to do.
excuse about is Ida attacking Ivory in DMs.
Okay, and acting like you ruined your life when you were feeding into it yourself. Okay, I sent you weird ass fell shit as a child because it was tolerated. Okay, he seems... Okay, this is extremely fucked up by this weirdo furry dude thing. He's like using the... Like he explicitly stated that he's a child when he was doing that weird shit. So he's using that as a defense. Like he knows what he is, but he's also using it as like... If you start attacking him or the conversation goes from friendly to anything else, he's gonna use that against you, which is a very bitch move. One, because I know that I'll always be tainted by shit like that in my head. You will be tainted by shit like that in your head. What? And here we have people in the real world going through some difficult shit, and this dude's tainted by massaging his ballsack to some fucking porn online in a forum. I'm not perfect now. I was literally jailbait because of how people abuse the shit out of me, not knowing boundaries when I was younger. Listen, no one fucking logged you into that site. You went on it yourself. Have some fucking self whatever, you know. Be accountable for your own actions, you little shit. I don't know who Niao is. Who's Niao? Is that Pyrocynical?
He posted about me. What she said is deplorable, and I don't agree with it at all.
What? That sucks, yeah, but you can't take that out on Niao. You've had bad experience as a younger teen, but it's not Niao alone. Why don't you talk to a therapist?
Once he posted about me. What she said is deplorable, and I don't agree with it at all.
I fully agree with her.
It did come from an emotional place, but that is not an excuse. Now, one where the document tries to criticize my initial statement is the fact that I used evidence that was later retracted. One of them was a Twitter thread of someone...
At this point, we know Christ is trustworthy. Okay, too many fucking name drops. I don't know who these people are. Since he was provided with a lot to the answer, and told me that Abra had lied about his age to some of his friends.
Trying to prove that I was innocent, and someone else is an individual that Ivory had sent kink stuff to. The thing is, though, with this information, someone else is an individual... that Ivory had sent kink stuff to. The thing is, though, with this information retracted, my original statement isn't debunked. The document
Makes
fixates
sense.
on this specific fact that people withdrew information
I'm not
while
reading that shit.
ignoring so many points like what I mentioned earlier. On top of that as well, the person who made the thread defending me recently came out and said at no point did he actually apologize for making that thread, and his words have been twisted and put in this document to be used against him. The reason why I used these Twitter screenshots against him is the fact that I felt his accusations came from a place of dishonesty. We spoke casually on and off until September of this year. I provided screenshots of our conversations that were posted in my Reddit statement. There was no bad blood. And then when other people came out on Twitter saying that they also had dishonest experiences with him, I used that to further my own belief that these accusations were made for the sake of it. Me including the anecdotal evidence led to the belief that Ivory lied about his age. That is never a claim I have made that he has done to me. I've only said that I did not know his age at 15, which in turn
So he's
has
not the only
caused
person
more
who's done
people
that
to
weird
believe
shit too.
that I lied in my original statement.
Ivory.
I just want to say though, this is not an excuse. It is entirely my responsibility to verify age. But this never escalated from two morons talking about inhaling furry farts, and I never intended it to. Ergo, grooming. There's a message that was used of me basically having a breakdown that was put in Ivory's original post, saying pretty much how everyone's going to find out and I have to keep looking over my shoulder, like my paranoia was through the roof. And this has been twisted, of course, to make it seem that I am guilty for grooming a 15-year-old. I think it's quite obvious what, like, I'm actually worried about. I didn't want the public to find out that I was a complete degenerate and into this, like, furry roleplay shit.
Understandable.
Anyone would be embarrassed by that.
Exactly.
I haven't had any conversations remotely resembling this for the past 3 years. But of course, I still did, and still kind of do hate myself for it. That being said, over the last couple of
What
weeks,
do you
I've
wait?
haven't had any conversations remotely resembling this for the past 3 years. But of course, I still did, and still kind of do hate myself.
Okay, why do you hate yourself? You were younger. We all make mistakes. We grow out of it. That's learning. Take it as a learning experience. If you've done some shit you regret in the past, stop regretting that shit. There's no point to it. Just say, yeah, that was me back then. Now I'm me now. Grow out of that shit.
For it. That being said, over the last couple of weeks, I've learned to embrace it because
Exactly.
that's all I can do now.
And now you feel a
this
lot
is a good
better.
time actually to discuss a Discord conversation that was leaked, where I'm asking someone for a way to...
Who leaking all this shit? Jesus fucking Christ. Everything is leaked here. Hey man, that script you gave Yojin, I might on here as well if that's alright. You know if it works with DMs. I have business from slimy Russian guy, I want deleted. I have business messages from a slimy Russian guy.
to like mass delete Discord messages. Very obvious explanation. I was shit scared of the public finding out that I was a complete degenerate. And, you know, pretty much just being kink shamed for all eternity. But this has now been twisted into, like, me trying to hide evidence of grooming to escape internet justice. They're trying to make it
Internet
out
justice,
to be
that's
far
the
more
word here.
insidious than it actually is. And it's...
Because if anything actually happened, this would not be internet justice discussed by internet dummies, which is gonna have zero fucking consequence on his actual life. It might damage his career because he's doing stuff on the internet, which is kind of fucked up, but it will have zero repercussions in his, you know, everyday life concerning the law is what I mean. Because this is not against the law, which is the thing here. Just people want to be morally superior, which is fucking dumb as
sick. People seem to be choosing, like, what part of my statement to run with instead of acknowledging all of it. They twist what they want to twist, misinterpret what they want to misinterpret, and then they just ignore the rest. I'm just, again, amazed how people read this document and just believed it at face value. The problem is I have with this drama that there is no middle ground. Originally, Ivory was labelled as a manipulative clout chaser that could do no wrong, because people chose to believe my screenshots over his.
And you turned out to be what a lot of people were calling you from the start. A clout chaser trying to ruin someone's career on YouTube, let alone on the internet, for attention.
But now those same people are saying I'm guilty because they read...
It's kind of funny how the people that are doing that are actually doing the same thing, that they're like, oh, you're a clout chaser for trying to damage someone's career online. Y'all are doing the same shit by looking at one document. That's fucking foul. Fucking assholes.
This document and didn't bother to cross-reference it with my original statement.
Not only is there proof of Pyro knowing that Ivory was underage,
Okay,
but
shit.
definitive proof that the messages were real, along with other damning evidence too.
And also, these are the same people that say, I shouldn't take my time with this response.
It's gone too far and too much has come out for him to take his time with it, like he did with his last response.
There needs to be a
Wow, for a person playing such amazing games, he sure is a dumbass cunt.
middle ground. I did
I don't know
fuck
who
up.
that guy is,
There
but
is
I
no
don't really
excuse,
give a fuck.
and I am sorry for that. But I am not a groomer or a predator, and documents like these only try to show one side and build a narrative that I'm a liar when I have never
That's how media works, though. You make your shit up so that the person you're trying to embarrass, trying to offend of something, make them seem like they've done something. You just give the clues that make it seem like they did the thing. You give zero of the clues that make it seem like they did not do the thing. That's how it works. So you can twist the public's perception of it in the right way. And now everyone that sees their videos and does not go and try to cross-reference the stuff is gonna immediately go like, yeah, Pyrocynical is a cunt.
actually changed my story from my original post. My mistake, if anything, was not being clearer. I have never tried to hide anything. This document has managed to fool so many people. Like, you've got this person that came to all my meet and greets and they're dressed up as my character. The effort they went to was insane. But thanks to this document, they've recently came out claiming that I was only nice to them because I had an ulterior motive. The document also tackles a tweet Ivory made where he says he hates me and I'm a leech. This was a copy pasta and it was...
Wait, Ivory thinks that he's...
tweet Ivory made where he says he hates me and I'm a leech. This was a copy pasta and it was like so easy to disprove. The majority of people found out as soon as you like copy pasted the actual tweet into the search bar. I didn't even think to mention this in my original statement because it was totally beside the point. I think it was included here as a way to make Ivory's claims seem more genuine without having to do any actual work. Why would you try so hard to debunk a claim 20 people complained about on Twitter, but yet ignore the fact that I provided exact dates of my Twitter suspension? Another argument Pyrocynical made lies in the idea that Ivory messages other people of similar age around the same time. They then show a screenshot that I posted of Ivory talking about the cringer furry stuff with someone else. Ivory then posted the rest of the conversation on Twitter, and it really doesn't change the narrative much, apart from adding that he wants to be left alone. At the time, I felt it was more than fair that I show an example of Ivory having a similar conversation with someone else, and how he wasn't affected by it as he claims he was with me. He still excused the guy, there was no call-out post on him, and I think it was fair to question that, like, why didn't he see a problem? Now, I understand I have a lot more reach and power, a much larger platform, but this document goes as far as to compare me to legitimate predators like Kiwis. Someone who
Like
sent
who?
and received nudes to a 14-year-old girl, lied about it ever happening, and then his excuse was, don't trust girls.
People fuck up, like teenagers are stupid, man, and I fucked up being, you know, it was really irresponsible. I shouldn't have trusted this girl. I shouldn't have.
They also post a screenshot of Ida saying that I did this with everyone. There's this one part of the doc that claims that people make the mistake of not
Not even
watching
gonna
an
touch
entire
that.
video before they
Not
pass
even gonna
judgment.
touch that.
And this is like bitterly ironic. You make that claim, but you leave so much out of my original statement. It's written with like such cruel intentions, and it waits until page 16 out of 19, only then to confirm that I never actually sent or received nudes. I like as well how they just did it in the middle of that huge paragraph. It also tries to twist conversations like this one, you know, like
Okay,
claiming that
buddy.
this isn't part of the roleplay, but discussing the hypothetical of having
Eat your cock.
sex with Ivory. No
Okay.
context. No conversation before, no conversation after. You're just meant to interpret this as 100% I wanted to have sex with him in person. This document probably never thought I'd actually respond to it piece by piece because, you know, the majority of the messages, they're so fucking bad to look at. This document is cowardly. I mean, like, the ending is no exception. Like, they don't even definitively state if I groomed anyone. They just leave enough room for people to draw that conclusion themselves without openly saying it. Even if this was made in good faith, it is a severe case of tunnel vision trying to right a perceived wrong. But I can't just sit here, you know, and let my name get dragged through the mud. On a side note, unrelated to this doc, I've actually seen screenshots circulating around of someone who drew like fan art of my Fox character back in 2016. I then apparently replied to them like jokingly saying not thick enough and then asking for their age, and they said 15. So when people saw this, they instantly drew parallels to the grooming allegation. I asked them for a thick version and they drew this, which isn't even really that different from previous things they drew before even getting into contact with me. I didn't commission it.
Please.
What was drawn wasn't pornographic. They'd drawn very similar stuff before, and there was no roleplay here. It was nothing. And the thing is, this wasn't even a call-out post. The person that made the original video just said it was funny.
So I'm going to address the Pyrocynical video now. This was in 2015. When this happened, I made that video over a year ago. It was not meant to be taken seriously at all. I'm also wearing the same outfit. It was just a funny story from high school, to be completely honest. That's the only thing that I meant by it. I didn't mean it to be a call-out post. The video was not meant to be taken seriously.
That being said, it was incredibly irresponsible of me and not my best look, I admit. But this isn't at all comparable to the current situation. Now, I do want to directly say something to Ivory and apologize to him.
Don't apologize to the little cunt. He's not even a little cunt anymore. He's a grown-ass cunt. Don't, please. I know why he's doing it, so he seems like... Maybe he's grown out of it, okay? Maybe. Maybe he's... taking the step that I need to make in my life at some point and realize that it's not worth it to, you know, dislike idiots that deserve to be disliked, but grow out of it, apologize once and never, you know, include them in your life again. Maybe that's the next step in growing up, but I have not still taken that step, so I think he should not apologize to the little shithead.
And to anyone else that I did the furry roleplay garbage with. What seemed consensual and reciprocal may very well not have been. It's not my place to decide. It happened. It was my responsibility to verify age, and I never did. And I am sorry for that. You shouldn't have been put in that situation, and it was stupid.
Yes, you should not have gone on a furry website for a furry roleplay and started furry roleplaying with someone, considering that you knew you were a child and you should not be doing that shit. Yes, I agree.
Of me to message people about this furry stuff without taking into account the influence of my platform, especially considering how sexual the tone of these messages were. It wasn't until later where I decided this was an issue and decided to stop entirely. I hope you can understand the frustration in my original post, but I shouldn't have attacked you, only apologized and defended myself. Now, really good closing note here for anyone that is still confused to any degree. If your accusation is solely Pyrocynical is a complete degenerate and should have not had these conversations with someone that he didn't realize was 15, you win. I can't dispute that. But if you've either insinuated, contributed, or directly called me a paedophile who groomed someone knowing that they were 15, that is a completely false claim. I've said my piece, I've admitted fault, and apologized to the best of my ability. I just want to move on from this. I want it to end. Thank you for watching, and hopefully this gives you a more widened view on the situation.
Understandable. Interesting. I want to see what y'all think about this video. What do y'all think about this whole situation? As I said earlier in this video, I find it kind of pathetic how many sheep nowadays there are that don't want to ask any questions about what's actually happening before they attack someone. Especially these YouTubers that have like a platform and they attack people without knowing the whole situation. You should not be doing that shit. That's fucked up. And yet you feel like you have the high ground to do that and continue doing that. That's extremely fucked up. But it is what it is. Let me know what y'all think. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Have a nice fucking day.